Now to the ongoing water emergency in Newark, New Jersey. Now, officials have put out a plan in place to address the crisis, an action that many say is long overdue. RT's Trinity Chavez is live in Newark with the latest. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, well, the lead levels here in Newark's drinking water are some of the highest levels in the whole country. It's a problem that's been going on for years. Many even saying that it surpasses the Flint water crisis, and which is compared to be one of the biggest U.S. health disasters in U.S. history. Newark's years-long water crisis could be resolved within the next 30 months under an ambitious new plan to replace thousands of contaminated pipes. Under a new partnership, Essex County Improvement Authority could lend a $120 million bond to the city of Newark for the sole purpose of replacing the old pipes that are tainting the water as it flows from one of the city's main processing plants into households. But Giovanni Banks, who has lived in Newark his whole life, has his reservations.
Is the loan going to be paid back through taxes? Is it going to be paid back from taking away opportunities from children, like, lowering programs, not having the good quality of things? It's just a lot of things that come into play with that.
Officials say that the plan would dramatically cut the time that it would take to replace the lead pipes from 10 years to under 30 months.
We are going to replace approximately 18,000 lead service lines in homes across the city of Newark. Replacing the lead service lines is the only permanent way to address this issue.
The fast-track plans to replace the pipes comes weeks after testing revealed that the filters distributed for little to reduce elevated lead levels in the drinking water.
This is a slap in the face to the residents of the city of Newark. As you can see, everybody standing in line now. We are in panic mode in this city because the feds had to come in to tell us to stop drinking the water.
And while the city also distributed water bottles to residents in about 14,000 homes, when water from 2 homes tested positive for lead above the federal threshold of 15 parts per billion, an initial shipment of the bottled water had been found to be past its best-by date, but state officials said no one was at risk.
But everybody don't care what they said, they lie. Check the date on that water.
The word expiration is not an accurate assessment. It's best used by, and we've got a whole new generation of bottles that are in there. I'm not sure what date they have on them. I'm not sure if Dan Kelly knows. But the first batch of bottles, the current batch and the future batches are all completely safe. And the state has, I believe, to anticipate this, about 70,000 cases in our emergency operations.
Newark's crisis has clear similarities to Flint, Michigan, where long-standing dangerous lead levels in many predominantly African-American and low-income neighborhoods forced people to rely on bottled water and led to the prosecution of state and local officials. And over the weekend, the New York Times reported a long line of questionable decisions that led to the water crisis in Newark. The article reads an investigation by the New York Times based on dozens of interviews and hundreds of pages of public records reveals blunders at all levels of government in safeguarding Newark's water infrastructure. City officials brushed aside warnings and allowed the systems to deteriorate, while state and federal regulators often did not intervene forcefully enough to help prevent the crisis. Now, I spoke to Mark Edwards, who is an environmental engineer, and he also helped uncover the Flint, Michigan crisis. And he says that although Newark's situation is premature, the lead levels that he has seen are just as bad or even worse compared to the Flint, Michigan crisis.
Wow.
Scotty?
And Trinity, this is a story that you've actually been covering for several months now. In fact, you were one of the first reporters who went out to Newark and covered it. And last night on the VMAs, you had protesters outside. So this is obviously gaining more and more steam, more and more attention. What is it like there on the ground? What are residents telling you?
Well, the people here are obviously extremely alarmed, and the people that we've talked to today are more concerned for the children, and they want to know what city officials are going to continue to go and do. We do know that $120 million are going to be going toward the replacement of these pipes. However, the real concern is, how is the city going to pay that loan back? How is it going to affect the communities? Is it going to jeopardize any school programming for children or any other extracurricular activities that the children are involved here in the community? And that was one of the main concerns that we were being told today. Scotty.
Well, thank you, Trinity, for continuing to follow the story. And unfortunately, it's a story that's going to continue to be ongoing. Thank you for your coverage.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.